Welcome back, Dereck. Hope you had a good summer. Two questions for you. First, what was the song of the summer for Mr. Lively to play? And then if you're going to be open this season, how many threes are we seeing?
Song of the summer. We'll do all 10 featuring Lil Baby. And then, whatever shots come to me, I'm going to take. It's not going to be out there searching for threes because I have many teammates on my team that I would rather shoot the ball more than me. I'm going to just try to set them up in places where they can get open threes. But, of course, I'm going to take the threes that come to me in my open spots so I can just feel the way the game's going. Some games it might be one or two. Some games it might be more. You just got to be able to see how the game's going. It's not a green light. It's more of just feel what's going on in the game. The time, the score, the way the game's going. It's not going out there chucking every shot that comes to me because that's just not my style of game. I feel like I've gone through a lot of mental turmoil throughout this summer. Just going through grief, figuring out who I am. My mother was the main reason why I was playing basketball for many years. So now it's just finding a new reason and just to keep going and keep putting one foot in front of the other. There's been a lot of sad days and a lot of bright days, so I've just been able to grow a lot as a person and as a character.
Hello again. Good morning.
Good morning.
We obviously know that Valencia King Real Talk Sports. We obviously know that you are very familiar with the Legos. Do you have one that was your most proud one that you made this summer?
This summer, just recently, last week, I finished the Millennium Falcon. It was like 9,980 pieces, I believe. But there's still the Titanic and the Eiffel Tower I got to finish over time, but that's going to take me a little while.
And what do you say to those that want to have you as a Lego biddable?
Let's make it happen. I'd love for that. I'd love to be able to just build myself, but, I'm not sure if it's going to be life-size because that'd be a whole lot of Legos.
Tiny bit,
Just
right?
a little bit smaller.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Of course.
All right, Dereck, so last year you get drafted here. You worked with Tyson Chandler. You were trying to make your way, right? And then Gafford comes along, the competition's there. You get to the finals. Coming to your second season, it may seem like championship or bust. Now, can you talk about that, how quickly that's went for you going from a team that was somewhat drafted in the lottery to now competing for a championship?
It's just learning and growing together. We got a couple of new people on the team, and we have a good amount of the team that was here last year. So it's now just being able to just lock into what we were doing last season and just clean up the little mistakes. There was a lot of times where we looked at each other and we were a new team at the second half, 2/3 of the year ended, and we got a new team. We got a couple new players, and now we have even more players. So it's just being able to make them comfortable, making sure everybody can play and not have to worry about things. So that's kind of my job. I'm the glue to make everything go together.
What's up, D-Live? What are the next steps for you in terms of your development on the defensive end?
You can say that again. I didn't hear you.
The next steps for you in terms of developing on the defensive end.
Oh, okay. Really just trying to be able to cover anybody's mistakes. I'm in the paint, so I'm guiding everybody. No matter if that's me switching out to the three-point line and guarding a guard, I want to be able to hear the people who are low man, the help side, to be able to talk to me like I was in their position. Making everybody just as vocal as possible, making sure everybody's moving on a tandem. And no matter if it's me in the paint blocking shots, no matter if that's me altering shots in the three-point line or Xing out on closeouts, it's just trying to be overall as defensively sound as we possibly can be.
Part of your game did you work on this summer?
I really focus a lot more on owning the paint, being as strong as I possibly can, doing whatever I can just to learn what I'm good at, no matter if that's playing off of 2 feet, 1 foot, working on my left hand, working on my ball handling and my balance. It's just been a lot of focusing on the details this summer, making sure that I can correct a lot of mistakes that I was doing last year.
I'm just curious, you had some tremendous success in your rookie year. I mean, not everybody gets to go to the finals their first season in the league. How do you weigh the hope and the desire and the promise of trying to, hey, let's make that happen every year, as opposed to understanding that if it was easy, everybody would do it, and may not be that easy or that rewarding every single year in terms of getting to the promised land?
You got to stack them days. You got to rely on the times that you're in the gym, rely on your work, rely on whenever the times get tough. The amount of times you've been in the gym, the amount of hours you put in the gym, that's what you rely on. And that's what we're all going to rely on. Each and every person here knows that they're going to give it 100% because the next person is expected to give it 100%. No matter if it's the person in front of you or behind you, everyone's going to back you up, and we're all pushing to the same goal. You know, there might be some times where it gets a little rough, a little bumpy at points in times, but that's life. We got to be able to keep moving forward, and we got to be able to get to the goal that we need, and that is the championship.
Hey, Dereck, you guys were able to spend a lot of time right here.
Gotcha.
Over the summer together in LA. Saw you, Gafford and PJ, Arkansas. Just what did those moments do for you personally, and how can that kind of expedite the chemistry process going forward?
Personally, for me, you know, like I said at the end of last season, you know, my team is my family. You know, I really, I've embraced that a lot. You know, I've been talking to a lot of my teammates throughout the summer, no matter if that's just catching up or just talking about what's coming up this season, making sure everybody's good and just trying to be as close-knit unit as possible. You know, we're in different states, no matter if that's LA, we're training in Arkansas, no matter if that's training in LA, training in Vegas, or training in Dallas, we're family. You know, I feel like there's a little bit more to say we're a family than we're a team, because even when we step off the court, we got each other's backs.
Dereck, we've seen you back here on the.
Gotcha.
We've seen you throughout the summer, whether it was summer league, working out at Duke with current Duke players, the camp, Nike camp with Theo Pinson. You have been willing to give back and willing to teach. Where does that come from, and how do you incorporate that with this team, even as a second-year player, knowing what kind of role you're going to have this team? Where does that particularly come from, and why do you want to continue to do that?
Just trying to be a sponge, you know, no matter if that's me giving out information that I've learned or picking up new information. And when it comes to this team, you know, we have players who have been in the league longer than me. We have some players who have never been a part of this team. So it's just kind of just taking them under our arms, you know, just showing them the way, show them how things work around here, and just making sure that everybody is as comfortable as possible. Because everyone's going to say that they're good, but you always got to make sure that they truly are good. You know, that no matter if they miss a shot, they miss a couple of shots, or if it's just, or even if they're just having a bad day. It's just always making sure that, you know, even if you fall, we're going to pick you back up. And that's kind of been our main theme throughout this whole year, well, summer.
All right, last one for D-Live.
Dereck, right over here. How much do you know about Najee Marshall, and how do you feel like he can impact this team? And I'm going to assume that since you're so young that you grew up watching Klay Thompson win titles with the Warriors. Just talk about the impact you anticipate him having on this team.
Just bringing what they've learned from other teams here. You know, Najee, he's an amazing defender, amazing playmaker, and the way he views the game is I love to play with it. I love how I love how he tries to snake the screens. I love how he tries to hostage. So it's just trying to figure out how they play the game and just trying to use that and exploit it. And the same thing with Klay, you know, just trying to be able to get him the ball in spots where he's most comfortable. You know, everybody's going to know he's shooting the ball. It's now just giving him that half a second or to a second count where he can get his feet set and where he can get the ball up. And that's my job as a screener, and that's my job as a big man to pass the ball or even get him open. And, man, off them offensive rebounds, I know he's going to be spotting up.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Thanks,
you.
D-Live.
Have a good one. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.